Hey, racing fans, Scott Shapiro and Mike Beer here to preview one of the graded stakes races on the sod this week and actually this Saturday at the Big A, Belmont at the Big A. It's the Jockey Club Derby Invitational Grade 2, mile and 3/8 on the turf. We'll get to it in just a moment. But first, wanted to make you all aware of a new podcast here on the YouTube channel, which you should subscribe to, by the way, and on where you can find all podcasts. I like to listen on Spotify. You can listen on Apple Podcasts or Amazon Music. But it's the Off the Track podcast. It's hosted by Gino Bacola, our colleague. He's had some great guests on already: Barbara Livingston, Emma Jane Wilson, Kendrick Carmouche, and Hot Trade and Miguel Clement this week. So definitely something you want to be ready for each week. I highly recommend going back and checking some of the older ones out. The best is yet to come on the Off the Track podcast with Gino Bacola. Mike, the Grade 2 Jockey Club Derby Invitational, not the strongest Grade 2 we're going to see on the docket this Saturday afternoon. 7-horse field, and Todd Pletcher has 2 in there. And I don't think either of them are going to be the favorite because Chad Brown has 2. And Hill Road is, whether you like him or not, probably going to take a lot of money in this spot.
I mean, I guess he probably will. I guess one of the things that he has going for him, Scott, is that distance seems like it's no issue for him. He's very logical in here. It's just mostly because it's not a super strong field, so maybe he just found the right spot.
Could be. Definitely will be over bet, in my opinion,
Yep.
regardless, but we'll get to them in a moment. Let's take a look at the pace projector here, Mike, where I think it's pretty clear that one of the Todd Pletcher runners will be on the lead. You've got number 3, Crudo, and number 6, Noble Confessor. You would have to think, actually, that the pace projector looks pretty right here. And the fact that both of the likely speeds are from the same barn should probably keep things from heating up at all.
Exactly. They could be really going at a crawl early in this race. I do think Crudo is the faster of the two. He's got inside position. I expect him to be cutting this pace.
All right, let's take a look at a horse that starts the field that hasn't won any races, does not have a lot of speed, and so we'll need things probably to be faster than we think, and the pace projector thinks. That's number 1 at Bourbon for Toby. And he's gotten better as he's gone into the turf and gone and routed, but he still doesn't have any wins and he still doesn't have any speed.
Yeah, he's got the trip could really work against him here. He's handled longer distances along the way, so that's fine, Scott. But this is a horse who's, as weak as this field is, I'm not taking a maiden in this race, particularly one who's, he's run well at times, but he's had his chances to win at least one of these races along the way, and he hasn't been able to get it done.
Well, a horse that's been expected to get it done in all of the
Yeah.
starts is number 2, Asbury Park. He's never been less than 5-2, and that was last out in his first stakes try. But prior to that, was bet down to favoritism in all 3 starts. Got the job done in one of them. It was back at Saratoga during the Belmont Racing Festival, but he's been a little bit underwhelming now. He's getting more ground than ever. His pedigree suggests he should love that. Is it a matter of the gate issues and more ground, or is he just not as good as they maybe thought he was going to be?
I think that's the real question here as time goes on, and I don't think I have the right answer for that, at least as of now. This is the Saranac last time. I thought maybe he got a little too far away. I mean, that's his running style. He's last early, and you're going to see the winner is going to come right up the inside in this race. He got to save all the ground, and Asbury Park didn't get that opportunity, Scott. He came wide, and he does finish well at the end of the race. He's making up a lot of ground. He's going to just miss second. He's going to carry on past the wire here. I understand anybody who says I'm tired of this horse. He's not as good as he was supposed to be, and I don't want him in here. But I'm going to maybe take a different tack because I really liked his maiden win. I think he maybe has excuses for his 2 most recent starts, and I do think more distance will work for this horse.
Understandable. Number 3, Crudo, will be a horse that will try more distance for the first time on the turf. He started his career with 5 starts on the dirt. He was well met right away down in Florida as one of those Todd Pletcher runners that takes a lot of money. Did not come through for bettors, but bounced back with 2 wins after that, including a dominant win in the Sir Barton against Restricted Stakes Company when he was good, but he had everything his way. I think, people gave him chances to run better than he did in the 2 stakes races at Saratoga over, well, the Belmont, maybe, and then
Yeah.
obviously the Curlin. But last time out, what did you think of that effort in the Saranac? I could see going either way. Would have maybe liked to see him finish a little bit better, though.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I could listen. You could watch it and say, "Well, he handled turf fine." I think that's probably true. I kind of feel like he's probably still better as a dirt horse, and we just showed that replay there a minute ago, people can go back and watch it for themselves and decide. He just attended the pace. I thought he had every chance to win in the stretch, and he wasn't good enough.
Well, Hill Road has only been good enough once since arriving in the States. This is a horse that came from well out of it in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile at a big price, finished very strong. And, you know, it was a horse that had an excuse in the Tampa Bay Derby, came back off a layoff, didn't get a good setup that day at all. Since then, though, I know he won the Peter Pan after that, but I kind of expected him to take a bigger step forward here than he has. Moved to the turf, back to the turf in the Nashville Derby, and ran third in a probably one of the better races, even though it was a grade 3 at Kentucky Downs. What do you say with Hill Road?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I could look at this race and say he's the horse to beat. He handles turf fine, and maybe that's all it will take. And I do think this, distance really works for this horse. If I'm being honest, I was kind of underwhelmed by his Nashville Derby last time. I didn't really think he did, a ton of running in there. I thought he was kind of third by default in there. And I thought he'd be the favorite in here. So it set me looking for other horses. I won't be surprised when he wins.
Hammerhead is going to be a lot bigger price than he has been in his previous 3 starts. And then Hill Road will be in here. He's lost at 2-1 or less in 3 straight starts in Canada. You don't see Kevin Attard send all that many horses in for graded stakes races in New York.
Probably a good time to take a shot with this horse, Scott, because I'm finally getting off here. I've been chasing this horse forever. I have a real thing for Hammerhead. I think he's way better than he looks on paper, and he's gotten tons of really, really tough trips in his races. I'm kind of done with him now, but there will be a point on Saturday afternoon when they're coming up to this race, and I look at the board and I see Hammerhead at 30-1. And somebody will have to hold me back from putting some money on it.
We all have those horses. Number 6, Noble Confessor, the other Todd Pletcher in here. The only win was loose on the lead at Saratoga, 2 back. And if you look at his past performances, he's a little bit tough to get excited about, but they've always thought, that this horse was going to be a good 2-turn horse, I think, on the turf. And I just think he's going to get a really good trip in here.
I do too. To me, he makes a lot of sense in this race. Yeah, he's one who has to break through with a much improved race at this point. And I guess we'll see about more distance with him too. But I feel like he's good. I think he's better than he looks on paper. I think he's got a real chance. There's going to be a great trip for him coming in this race. I think he's got a real chance to jump forward here.
Number 7, Game Warrior, probably up against it. Doesn't have any speed. Peter Miller only started 3 horses over the last 5 years in New York in graded stakes races. Can you make any sort of case for the son of Game Winner, who was underwhelming, I thought, in the 5-horse Del Mar Derby?
Yeah, I thought he was too. I mean, I don't love any of his races necessarily. He is the only 2-time turf winner in the field. If that floats your boat, but I didn't like him that much.
Yeah, tough to get to, Game Warrior. Maybe if the pace was going to be hotter,
yeah.
But all right, let's take a look at our picks in here. Hill Road's going to be the favorite. Did you go to him? No, I am not surprised either. Mm-hmm. But you went to a stablemate, Asbury Park, and I went to one of the Pletchers.
I like your horse. I have him in there as well. I ultimately decided to give Asbury Park one more chance in here. See if the added distance does the trick.
I think it's understandable. The pedigree is definitely there to run all day long, and they will be doing that as they go 1 3/8 in the Jockey Club Derby, Grade 2 at Belmont at the Big A on Saturday. Best of luck.